Hi, my name is Josh Robero and this is my video presentation for Mapeh 9. So today I'll be discussing you the basic ways, the most basic ways, most simplest ways in other words, of performing first aid on patients or people experiencing muscle cramps. So I hope this video lecture will be able to help you understand the things that you can do to help someone that is experiencing a muscle cramp. And I'll be discussing why do we experience muscle cramps, and does age has something to do with muscle cramps, and why do we experience muscle cramps during nighttime. Again, this is Joshua Robero and this is my presentation for Mapeh 9. So let's begin with why do we experience muscle cramps. Experts say that we experience muscle cramps because of the lack of magnesium and potassium in our body. Okay, so experts say that some muscle cramps may be or can be related to some underlying health conditions such as the lack of blood supplies in our body. And as said earlier, the lack of potassium and magnesium in our body. Although in some cases, the cause of muscle cramps is hard to identify, but it is said by experts that most of the muscle cramps that we experience would be harmless and would be only felt for a very short period of time. But we also experience muscle cramps because of the overuse or overworked muscles, or dehydration, muscle strain, or just holding a position for a very prolonged period. That can surely cause a muscle cramp. And in terms of age, there are still some or just a little bit of risk factors that's still associated with muscle cramping. This includes some medications or electrolyte imbalance, and then certain diseases. And lastly, you may have been wondering on why do we experience muscle cramps during nighttime as we sleep. It's because of foot positioning. So meaning foot positioning has something to do with us experiencing nighttime leg cramps. Because we often sleep with our legs and toes moving away from the rest of our body. This movement is called the plantar flexion. The plantar flexion means this is a movement in which the top of our toes moves away from the rest of our feet or legs. So let's begin with why do we experience muscle cramps. Experts say that we experience muscle cramps because of the lack of magnesium and potassium in our body. And now, before we move on, do note that muscle cramps can be experienced or can occur from the rest of our body. It's just commonly occurs in our legs and feet. So let's move on to how do we perform first aid when experiencing muscle cramps. The first thing to do is to relax the patient. And better be is to let them sit down and then slowly but surely massage the affected part of the muscle cramp. And then after that, apply cold compress to the affected part of the muscle cramp. So those are the simplest ways to perform first aid on someone experiencing muscle cramps. Now, before we end the video or video presentation, are there any medications that we can take to avoid muscle cramping? The answer is yes. There is this that is called the muscle relaxant medications, which means it is used to relax the muscle for a short-term period of time for temporary situations only. And that concludes my video presentation for Mapeh 9. I hope this discussion helps you and has given knowledge on how to perform first aid on someone experiencing muscle cramps. Again, this is George Lea Robero. See you again in the next video. Bye-bye!